What's up, graphic designers? In this video tutorial, we're going to be creating a crossover episode featuring characters from random shows that you like on maybe Netflix or Disney Plus. Interestingly, at number 10, they've got Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles. So this is a little bit of a throwback. Mine is going to be a little bit more up to date, a little bit more contemporary, featuring Squid Game and Money Heist, aka La Casa de Papel. But before we can get into this project, what we need to talk about is non-destructive editing using masks. So when we take a look at this visual, we've got two layers. We've got a top layer and a bottom layer in red. And I know that if we wanted to cut through this top layer, I might use the rectangular marquee tool and simply press delete. So that's one way, right? But I also know that we press E for eraser and then click and drag. This is another way we can cut through. And if I use the move tool, I can click and drag this top layer, right? And we can still see right through it, but we can't change what we cut through, right? We could always cut through more, but we can't go back until today. So we're going to learn something new and exciting. You guys definitely want to pay attention. And so here is what's going to happen. I'm going to draw my attention to the bottom of the layers palette, and to the right of the effects tool, we've got this little icon right there, that little square with the black circle. It says add a layer mask, and when you left click it, and you'll notice that this white box appears next to the layer that was highlighted. In this case, it was that blue top layer. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to switch back to the blue layer for just a minute. Okay, and I'm going to press B for brush. And now when I paint using the paintbrush, obviously it's painting black, right? That's not new. If I use the rectangular marquee and press G for paint bucket and clicked again, that's also not new, right? This is what we know and this is what we were expecting. However, if we click off of this layers thumbnail and we click on the mask thumbnail, and you actually take a look at the lower left hand corner in the bottom of the tools toolbar. If we press X, we can swap the foreground and the background, and that's about to come in very handy, because now when we use black on the white mask and I press B, what's happening is it's like cutting through. It's creating like a portal underneath it. But here's the kicker. If we press X to paint white, we can paint it back. Wow, so this is what we mean when we're talking about non-destructive editing. We can like make an edit, but then we can bring it back if needed. And if I'm going to press, for example, I'll use the rectangular marquee. I'm still on the paint bucket. Okay, and if I left click, white, nothing happens. And if I click again, it completely eliminates. All right, and then Command D to deselect. If I press B for brush, we can continue it. Press X to pull up that white. All right, so that's really cool. What does this look like in practice? How does this work? Here we got an image of Malachi. I'm going to press Command C. So we're going to press Command V to paste, and there's Malachi. Let's use the object selection tool, because we're going to want to cut him out. And I know that to do that, once we've got the selection, we would typically press Command Shift I to invert the selection. We'd press Delete and then Command D to deselect. And let's say hypothetically, we're deleting his hair, right? And then, or deleting the green rather out of his hair. And then let's say we do a little something like this, but maybe we don't notice it. And then, we're continuing to work and we do lots of other layers and all sorts of fun stuff. And then we realize this mistake that we made. There's no way to go back and undo this, sadly. So here's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to press Command V, and we're going to be using layer masks in combination with all these other tools and techniques that we've learned this year. So again, we're going to use the object selection. And then we're going to draw our attention again to the bottom of the layers palette. We're going to add a layer mask, and when we do that, I can see that everything in black has disappeared. That's all the background. Everything that's white remains, and so we can zoom in. And now if we want to sort of clean up elements, what we're going to do is if we use the paintbrush, and then of course we can drop the size, we can like play around with the hardness. I'm painting white. We don't want to do that, so I'm going to press X, and we're going to paint with black, and then we can get rid of this. But let's say, like before, we take out a little bit too much. Uh-oh, yikes, that was a mistake. We don't want to do that. We can simply use white to restore what we're looking for. And so what's the secret? Well, if something's in the light, you can see it, and if it's black or if it's dark out, it's concealed, and so sometimes people say white reveals, black conceals. We're going to continue practicing this, and we're going to continue thinking about what this means. And so, as I said a minute ago, we're going to be doing a crossover episode. So what you can do is you can go to Netflix, and maybe you're going to want to find a show. You can simply create like take a screenshot, and this isn't working. Okay, there it is. So here's what I did. If you press Command Shift C, you can create a screenshot, and I've actually already got this screenshot pulled up. It's right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some of the characters from Money Heist into this image. So I'm going to actually return to my browser. I like this one. I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy image, I'm going to return to Photoshop, and I'm going to pop in these characters right up here. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to zoom in. We're going to use the object selection tool, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed. And then I'm simply going to add a layer mask. Wow, that looks amazing. And I'm actually going to press Command T. I'm going to right click. I'm going to flip horizontal so this guy's facing the opposite direction. This looks great. And then maybe we make it a little bit bigger. And you know what else I know, guys? I want it to be cut along this edge right here, so it looks a little bit more realistic. I'm going to use the polygonal lasso. Okay, beautiful. And so now, am I going to paint black or I'm going to paint white? Let's experiment. If I left click black, nothing happens until I click right on it, and then what we can do is use the brush and just clean it up right there. Beautiful. Now, if we decided that, like, when we lift it up, we want more of this guy, what we could do is I'm going to press X to pull up the white in the foreground, and then I can simply add more. Like so, in fact, I can just go like this. That's cool. Use the lasso tool. And then, once we seal it up, have black in the foreground, and we can simply eliminate it this way. So, and actually, you know, you can do lots of really cool touching up. I'm super excited to see what you guys, yikes. Oh, you know, I thought, you guys, this is funny. I thought this little white piece was from Money Heist. It's not. It's this little piece right here. So here's another application of what we've learned. I'm going to use the rectangular marquee tool to make a selection. I'm going to right click. I'm going to fill with content aware. And now when we bring it back, that looks pretty awesome. Alright guys, so we're going to be using the content aware fill function. We're going to be using the clone stamp, all the selection tools, and critically, we're going to be using layer masks to create a crossover episode featuring characters from a show that you like. Cannot wait to see your work. Good luck.